Hello, Mr. Carson. Welcome to class. Hello, Miss Greer. We have about 8 more minutes before we start. Just giving people time to get here. Okay, let's take care of attendance real quick. Let's see here. Grab the attendance, do it side by side. Yes, leave that running. People, two students, everybody else is going to be absent. Okay. So Tyra Allen is absent. Michael Brown is absent. Mr. Carson is present. Julian Cervantes is absent. Let's see here. Shanta Cherry absent. Roymond Davis absent. Jontes Goss absent. Miss Greer is present. Jamel Harris absent. Joshua Hill absent. Giovanni absent. Daniel Jackson absent. Jamar Jones absent. Romel Lee absent. Tamia Love is absent. Lanier Robinson's absent. Alika Vernon's absent. And Monet Worthy is absent. All right, so a minute and a half, and we're going to begin with our norms and today's project in Scratch. You should have your screens resized. Uh, we're going to go through the assignment today, and it builds off of yesterday's assessment. We had to take images and bring them over. We're going to go through that again. I think the only person that was really successful with it because of the resizing of the images was Mr. Carson. So, way to go. But you're going to be using those skills again in a moment today when we do this project. So you might want to get the project loaded, see what the project does. We're going to discuss it. There's extra credit for the student that can display their screen and show how this project works. Okay. So that's in less than a minute. Okay, so let's begin. Let's see whose cameras are on. I think I got a message from Miss Love. Give me 1 minute. See if she's coming to class or not. She said okay. Class is starting. That's all I want to tell her. So, excuses, excuses. All right, so let's jump into our norms. I'm going to have each of you read a section of the norms because I really want to get us going. But we have to go through our norms real quick. So this is her again trying to communicate when she should be in class. I just got out the shower. Okay, girl. I'm not going to respond. All right, so let's go through the list. Let me scroll up some. Miss Greer, can you read all five of the basic norms? The five basic norms. Miss Greer, you there? She's on the phone. All right, so I'll read the five basic norms. Um, so no one has the right to hurt another person. Education in the classroom is sacred. We will never behave in a way that will discredit ourselves, our school, or our family. Excel Academy and Southwest student is always a lady or gentleman. We take pride in Excel Academy and Southwest. All right. Now, Mr. Carson, can you read the five academic norms? And again, when we read these norms, these are demonstration points. So when you guys, so can you read that real quick so we can get started, sir?
We respect the opinions of others. We respect the culture of the classroom. We are attentive to participate. We have high expectations of ourselves, our peers, and our teachers. We are here to focus on preparing ourselves for post-secondary endeavors.
That's awesome. Thank you. All right, so let's jump into today's assignment. So the sooner we get most of this done, the sooner we can actually, move to a break, possibly get you guys ready for next period. But it's a lot of things we got to go through. So, Carson, I'm pretty sure you might already have the project going. Can you share your screen? Did you find the link? Just want to make sure I posted it in the right area for you guys and it's accessible. Okay, so are you able to share? Because I was gonna stop sending. If you're not, just let me know.
Share what?
So do you have the project up already? The
Yeah,
project code?
I didn't start on my own.
Okay, so that's okay. I was just seeing if you was ready,
Oh,
but when you're ready, let me know.
you want me
So
to you want me to present yours or mine?
mines.
Oh, okay.
No, dude, all you gotta do is just show mines and show us how it works if you've even played with it. But if you didn't, I'll show you how to start it up and just want to make sure it works on your end, on everybody's end. Okay, great. You're sharing. All right, now go to the project page because we need to expand that simulation. All right, yeah, expand it. There you go. Now, yeah, you getting sharp with that. Okay, good. I was just saying, can you clear your screen up? All right, so you start the flag, and
Mhm.
you read the instructions. It says click on two colors. See, uh, basically the combination. Right. So you get to click on each of these vials. So do it in any order you would like, and just make sure all the vials are half. Right. Okay, so that's one. You chose that. We got green, and then you still didn't click on. You tried a different combination. Okay, so try a different combination with red now. Okay. All right. Cool. Okay. So here's what we got to do. You need a backdrop. Okay. And you don't want to make the backdrop too, solid because you want to be able to see the different colors in, your image. You also need to make it where the vials look blue and red and yellow, but when you pour it out, it's a totally different color. Okay, so this is the creative part of it. And lastly, you need a character that explains what's happening. So you have a character that pretty much sits off to the side and it's not in the code. I want to see if you guys have mastered how to put a sprite in there and make the sprite talk. So far, the only thing that talks is when you start the program. Okay. So when you start the program, you notice the vials, yeah, you can stop sharing, Carson. Thanks. When you basically, when you start, let me share again. When you start the program, you're gonna see that the screen just talks to you. There's nobody talking to you. You have to in your programming put a sprite in there that pretty much acts as the announcer or the main speaker. Okay. So let me make sure this is right. It's right. So that's today's assignment. Carson, I'm gonna need you to read what's in the chat. Greer, are you back yet? Or are you still on the phone, dear?
I'm back. I'm back
Okay.
here.
Okay. Can you read what's in the chat because you missed the norms? So I'm gonna have you read a little bit.
So, hello and good day to all future computer scientists. Please review and get created the MIT Scratch profile. You will need to confirm your email address, and this should allow you to share all projects that you create in this class. The link to start your Scratch profile online is the link. Click on Join to create your profile.
Cool, cool. You didn't have to say the links. Okay, so the next part, I see you smiling like you expect me to read that. The next part, I want you to just read it. The links should be there for you guys to use, so you don't have to read that, Miss Greer. But read this last part, and it's supposed to be stay safe out there in Zen. But let me put the rest in there.
Okay.
So
Use the code to recreate your own spice and backdrop for the entire program. All segments of code need to be ready by tomorrow morning's class. Please keep in mind that you must choose your own spice and backdrops for this project and all future projects. To grade maximum credit. To get maximum credit, all the sprites have to have different music settings and uploaded by SB via your scratch link by 8 p.m. Stay safe. Oh,
Okay, cool. Thank you. Okay, so we're all together and ready to go. The link is where you're supposed to be at to see what I have on my screen, and what I'm talking about is pretty much this project. So you want to have on one of your windows, once you resize it, the overall Scratch project we just did. And let me expand this a bit so you can see what happens again. Remember, when we start the flag, there is nobody talking. Actually, the cube is talking. So you can let the cube still talk, but it should be a character that says hello when you start. And you want to change the timing so this starts after your character speaks, where it says hello, my name is, you can say Carson or Greer. It could be your own little
so
sprite in there. Go ahead, Miss Greer.
we could use like any like colored sprite.
Yeah, that is your choice. If that's going to represent you, though.
Okay.
You, yeah, some ladies have used ballerinas, some dudes have used football players. I'm just saying something that says, hello, this is such and such. And I'm going to, I don't know, introduce colors using an operator remix. That's the name of the title, by the way, too. So make sure you share your title that way. Conditions is what we're going through. Colors using an operator remix. But basically, you need a sprite that introduces your project. You want to reset the timer. You got to watch your program and make sure it starts talking right after you get done talking. So everything you see here that started, for instance, I hit the flag, you see the cube is talking. Let me blow this up some. The cube is talking, and basically you need another sprite. You can resize this cube if you want, and you need another sprite, which is you, to do the talking before this cube talks. Now I'm gonna give you 10 minutes to figure it out, but I want to go through how you change certain variables because that's all the colors are. When I click on this, you see it pours blue, right? Click on this, it pours red. These combination of colors are made up. You don't have to worry about the math behind it. We're gonna use operators today or mathematical operators. I put yellow in there. Okay, that's all the combinations. Now, earlier Carson showed different color variations. You don't have to worry about that. You just have to make sure when this vial pours red, it pours a different color. So it's a little bit of you changing some values. You click empty, and you can start over and always test different things. So I should be able to do that with yours, and that's a different color made up from red and blue basically. All right, so let me come out of here.
Where do we get those little cubes from, though?
Those what?
Where do we get those little things from? The
Little
little,
vials.
yeah.
I'm glad you asked, Mr. Carson. You're jumping ahead, being a computer scientist. We're gonna go inside C code, and there's a technique you can use to take these vials from this project and put it into your own. Okay. Now the vials have to stay the same. The cube has to stay the same, but you should have a backdrop because this is all white. And again, when you choose a backdrop, don't choose anything supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Don't choose nothing that you can't see what the cube is doing in the background. So let's test it out. If I said backdrops, what do I want to use? I'm gonna go to choose backdrop, right? And I can choose what they have, or I can click on upload backdrop. And this is what I want you guys to do. I don't want you to choose just any backdrop. I want you to choose some backdrop from your actual screen. Okay. So Ms. Love, I see you're here, and I explained to you on text what you have to do. You have to be able to keep up with the project, and pretty soon I'm also going to ask you to share your screen because just because your camera's down, you should be working behind the scenes at the same time. What was I saying? So, for instance, I did a project second period with physics students, and I'm gonna choose this one. Okay, it's loading, and notice I got this type of backdrop in the background. That's too much going on, right? So choose something that's not too, obvious. You had a question, Carson? I heard you type your mic. Okay, so that's just a test drop. I'm not going to use it, but that's how you upload backgrounds from your computer. Now, you might want to talk to Mr. Carson about how he did it. He was able to make this backdrop stretch across the screen correctly. Because here's how it looks when we actually go to the presentation mode, right?
Janaya was the one that taught me.
You said what?
Janaya was the one that taught me.
Oh, Janaya taught you that? Okay, okay. Well, that's cool. Y'all need to share that with each other so you can make this appropriate. So if making sure the backdrop works, you might want to do that last, but make sure before 8 p.m. you have that done. Now that's one thing. In terms of these vials or these test tubes where the colors reside, you come over here to backdrops because that's giving me a headache. Do this. There we go. So far as these are concerned, you click on one of them, right? And then we're going to go to the actual costumes, but you're going to click on it. And this is in my way. There we go. So click on costumes. And you'll notice that you have the vial, and you don't have to worry about this because when you go back to the actual code, it'll take care of it. It's a screen, a background that allows the white screen to overlay it. So it's just an image. You don't see all that when you actually produce it. So going back to the costumes or designer mode, you have two costumes for this. The one where the vial is full, that's where the program starts. You have one where the vial is empty. You're going to need to take both of these images and put into your program. And here's how. So let's start with the link where it says mitscratch.edu or scratch.mit.edu. You click on that link in the chat, and basically this is the link. Same thing I did. This is just to start a new program. So scratch.mit.edu, and you'll come to this page. You want to make sure you're logged into your Scratch profile because anything you do, you want to make sure it's saved. What if your computer runs out of battery power because you didn't plug it up last night? Or what if you are, hold on one second. Yeah, trucks flying by. What if you have a cell phone and you did some of the work and you was like taking a train or whatever the case may be, and you came home. If you weren't logged in, that stuff is not saved basically. So you definitely want to make sure you connect to your Scratch profile. Welcome to class, Lanier. You want to make sure you're connected to your Scratch profile, and then any work you do, you can find it on any device you're working on. Okay, so I'm gonna click on create. And in create, we're going to start establishing where this code is. Give me one moment. I got to mark Lanier present, and love was already present a minute ago. Maybe like 4 or 5 minutes ago. Okay, so there we go. They're logged in the system. All right, let's keep going. I'm gonna blow this back up so I can see all cameras. Now, when we do this, we basically come over here. Make sure you have your screen stood up side by side so you can see what you're doing. You're pretty good computer scientists at this point, so you should be able to maneuver around a computer if you're on a computer. If you're on a cell phone, I have very little sympathy because it's gonna be hard because you're gonna be trying to do everything on a small little handheld when you could be comfortably typing it up and seeing everything and doing everything. I know we like our cell phones, but we have to move to the new age where we're working as scientists, right? So if I click on the very first one, the blue vial, you'll notice I can right click, and I have a mouse, I can do this. If you have a touchpad, then it's gonna be a little hard for you. You can actually hit export. When you hit export, you'll see it downloads a link, and it's basically a web link. But this web link is important because if you come over here and say we wanted to add a costume, do not delete the sprite yet, the new sprite, because you need a sprite to change it out with, and it's going to be this vial. So don't delete the sprite because if you do, you won't have the costume section. You have to choose another sprite and then recode it. So leave that sprite selected here, go to costumes, and you'll see this sprite, right? So I don't really want this sprite. I'm gonna replace this sprite with a new a setting. So I'm gonna delete both of the sprites. I'm gonna delete one and leave that sprite. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to basically to choose costume and come up to upload costume. And that same file that we just downloaded, we're gonna go back to, and it's blue full one because I've done this a few times yesterday to prep for you guys. You hit open, and there's the vial. So let's see how
Wait,
that
how do you
looks.
download it?
Say what?
How do you download it?
Okay, let me go back a step.
Mine don't say expert.
Did you right click on it?
Yeah. It
So
only say it says save as and then copy image and then inspect.
do save as and see if that works for you.
Okay, yeah, it did save as.
Okay, and then downloaded a link.
Yeah.
All right. So
Wait, you
for
want to
Carson,
export?
huh?
You said
Yeah, I did export Carson, but
okay.
she has a different computer, so it might show a different setting. So either export or save image, as we saw. And once you click on that, it'll download a file. That file is what you use to bring it over to your costume settings. All right. So I think I'm zoomed in a lot. Let me zoom out. There we go. I'm like, why am I looking at this so big? Okay, there we go. So that is basically the first costume setting. Now we can get rid of this sprite here because remember this sprite had two costumes. We got to get the other one, the other vial, right? So the other vial, and I'm gonna give you guys 10 minutes to get everything set up before you code, because I think you pretty much easy going on a code right now, most of you. But these images and stuff and the music, we still haven't done that. And Friday, tomorrow, you're gonna have to put some music samples into some of your projects because we're coming to a big project at the end of the quarter. Well, not the end, but the midterms. So let me continue on. We need the second one, right? And that's when it's half. Now you got to make sure you get this in there as well because you want these vials to have two costumes, and those two costumes you saw made the animation look like you were pouring something into that other big cup. So I've saved the image via export or save image, whichever you can use or is available to you from what you have. You go back to choose a sprite and come to upload. So this is the second part of the costume for our project, and I think it was called Blue Half. So that's it. That's exactly what I wanted. So I got two good costumes. And when I come to my code, there is the first file. You want to make sure you move it around and resize it so it looks similar to this source code I gave you. So you see how big it is. You got to shrink it down a little bit. Actually, if you don't know how to shrink it down, you can look at the source code. I'm just going to move this out the way. I usually leave that running so people know what class I'm in. But I think by now you guys know what class you're in. So you'll see here some settings, right? You want to make sure it's shown. You can name it the sprite, and you can also change its size from side to side or horizontal and vertical Y. You could also change, I mean, and this is the position, that's not the size. The size is right here. So if I change the position, you'll see some of the number values change, right? And that's just because it's in the program already, and they've sized it before they coded it. If you want to not have to worry about where it's positioned, inside of where your code is, you'll notice go to X. This starts the actual thing there. So if it's not where we want it to be, don't worry about it. You have the code settings for where it should be started every time someone starts your program. And that's negative 142 and 87. That's what that important part of code was for. So you can move it, but if, for instance, I move it, you'll see the size, I mean, the horizontal and vertical change here. And that's because it's going through where it's stepping through in the problem in a program. So make sure you resize all your sprites by using your settings, and don't forget your backdrop. So for 10 minutes, I want you guys to just work purely on getting all of those different shapes or sprites into your program.
I think I
Okay.
did it
Then we're going to
wrong.
share out. What'd you say, Carson?
No, that was me. I said I
Okay.
think I did it wrong.
You think you did it wrong?
Yeah, like when we added the second one.
Okay. So I'm gonna stop sharing and you can show me. But everyone else, I'm gonna set a time for 10 minutes while I help her with this. You do this and then let me stop presenting and then you share your screen so I could try to help you out where you're at, Miss Greer. Let me stop presenting. Okay, you have the floor, dear. You gotta share your screen so you can see what's the problem is. There you go. You're starting something. I can see it starting. Okay, now why you say something's wrong? I don't get it.
Like I
Looks
don't
like you
like
got it.
supposed to be right here.
No, okay, so yeah, I see what you did wrong. You put it in twice, right? So you don't want to put it in the same sprite.
Cause
You got two.
I did the one that got the more stuff in first, and then I did the one that got the less stuff.
No, right, but you put it in. Okay. So, okay, go back to your costume settings.
Okay.
No, not from there. Go back. Can you scroll over to the left? You gotta go to costumes. You remember what that is? So expand that window for a second. There you go. There you go. So click on costumes because this is how you design what your costumes are gonna look like at the top. Yeah, the tab that says costumes. There you go. Okay. So let's look at this. You got one costume there. Can you scroll down? Okay. So I think that's because you have
I added it as another sprite.
that's what I was telling you, right? You have to add it as a costume section of your sprite. You
Oh, so
understand?
right here.
You're right, yeah. Okay. So did that help? Because I think that's all you did wrong.
Yeah.
You put it there. You got to go back and delete that other sprite. Otherwise, it's gonna look real weird on your program.
I don't got the cat up there no more. I deleted it already.
That's fine. That's fine. You're supposed to do that because you got to use your own sprites. But each sprite, you got to design their costumes. And the costumes, there's only two costumes per sprite for most of them.
Okay.
Okay. And don't forget you need another sprite that represents yourself. It needs to be
I know.
animated. Okay. All right. So for the animations of your sprite and your words, you can look at your other coding projects and figure out how to do that. I'm not going to tell you how on purpose because I'm giving you a rehearsal on what's going to happen in tomorrow's quiz. So you got to know how
Okay.
to do all of these techniques by tomorrow. But really, really, really practice today. Otherwise, tomorrow's going to be the headache. All right. Thanks for stop sharing, Miss Gray. Now I can go back to presenting. So how much time you guys got? You got 7 more minutes to get at least that much done. And then I'm going to start on the code a little bit. Uh, Everyone has to demonstrate or share their screen after that 7 minutes is up. And this is the first part of demonstration points. I keep talking about those. But if you guys look at your scores, when you're in class and you're actually demonstrating, what happens is if I see a score that's 0, I'll put those points there if you participated that day. That participation comes in the form of reading the norms, answering questions in class, showing your screen, showing your camera screen. These things help your score because I want you to get credit for at least trying to make it through the class. But I can't do that if you're not participating. So you can't just log in and sit there. So you're gonna have a hard time with me because I'm watching. All right, so 6 minutes. You should have recreated all of these sprites here, and one additional sprite you should have chosen. You don't have to have it coded, but you have chosen your sprites and have them in your program and ready to code. So I want to make sure we understand how to do this image load process. All right, I gotta redo attendance because Linaria just got here. Uh, Ms. Robinson, the actual program is in the chat, but you just got here, so I'm gonna put it here again. The program we're working on, so you can
I'm
catch up.
on it already.
Oh, you got it already? Okay, cool. All right. Linaria is here. I already marked her here. Okay. Who came here new? No, that was okay. That's everybody. All right. Look at this list. Nobody knew. I gotta figure out what happened to Cherry and Vernon. Let me write that down. They usually on time too. I don't know what's going on. And then Cherry. We got a quiz tomorrow. I hope they're watching the videos. That's nothing. All videos, if you hadn't noticed, I try to make sure they're available. If you can't find a video or you can't load it for some reason, I think there's a few students like Miss Greer and others. I don't know if Carson did it, but they actually hit me on Edsby and was like, "Hey, where's the video?" And I was able to deliver the video because I archived it every day. I archive all of them to YouTube just in case y'all might need them and y'all didn't see it in Edsby for some reason. So please check those videos out. And a good way to get through the test is to check them out the night before the quiz. Hint, hint, which is tomorrow. No reason to fail.
So that means we gotta download all
Okay.
those.
I got a question.
Okay, I might have an answer. What's your question?
So, like when I uploaded when uploaded them as a sprite, like how
Uh,
do I like edit them or something? Because they stacking up on top of each other. Like I can't see the other ones that I.
okay, okay. Let me stop sharing again. I'm like, what?
I don't know what I'm doing
It's
wrong.
okay not to know. Y'all need to stop panicking like that. It's called figure it out, right? And start share your screen. Let's figure it out together. Keep saying, I don't know. Turning red as heck. It's gonna be okay. Okay, there you go. Now, what's your issue?
Like this, like
Okay, so I'm looking at. Okay, so I see what the problem is. Uh, so you got like, let's go to your each sprite's costume. I want to make sure you had it loaded right. I think what was
okay,
happening is you have stuff laying on top of each other, and remember that doesn't get fixed until you start giving it code where it
this
positions itself. So you got a sprite selected. Okay, you did do it right. Now, what's the second sprite look like? I mean, second costume look like?
uh
I see the first I see the second one. What's the first one look like? Okay, agree, you did it right, but that's what I was warning you about earlier on. You might not have heard me. You have to put all the sprites in there, and then each sprite coded. And what will happen is they will move where they should move. Because if you
okay,
have sprites laying on top of each other, it won't look right. So the goal is to make sure you got all the images right. So you got that one. That's the full, right?
yeah, and then
And
it's
where's the
the
half? You got it. Now you, if you want it to get better, you got to code it. Now you're the engineer.
and
I
then
mean, you're the
it's the
scientist,
empty one.
huh? Right. So okay. So you still need one more sprite. It looks like,
Yeah,
or one more
one
costume, I
more.
should say, because that one's supposed to be full. And some. How many costumes does that one have? I gotta look at that.
This one got like 4, 5 of them, but
I
I
bet because a lot of different color combinations,
yeah.
right? Yeah. Let me see. Let me check that out. I seen it, but I didn't know how many there. Oh yeah. So you got to finish.
So,
That's why I was giving y'all 10 minutes, Miss Greer. Just do all the steps first, and then it'll come together once you put the code in there. You'll give it life.
okay.
Think of it as a bunch of dead bodies stacked on top of each
So
other,
like
and you
when
got to
we do
code
it, do we change the colors?
them. You said change the colors.
Yeah.
I don't know because that's gonna take some time. You could do that before 8 p.m., but it's gonna take some time for you to
No, I'm
redraw it,
just
and then
asking, like, do we gotta change the colors?
no, you don't. No, you don't. Just take the images, and
Okay.
I'll show you how to change the color from the code, not from the image. You'll see that part. You move them too fast, like Carson. Just slow down and do the steps. Though you move them too fast. So just do the steps, and you'll be all right. But you gotta have everything in there because when you try selecting costumes as you go through the code, it's gonna be looking for those costumes you should have saved already.
Okay.
That's why I'm gonna have you guys do this first.
All
I'm
right.
going to help with the bags. I'm gonna have to holler at her because girl, oh these kids, they so wonderful. All right, so I do hope Miss Love knows that's not an excuse. She has to have the code done. What was I doing? How much time we got? Because when my son is doing schoolwork, I am not interrupting them. They're working. All right, so should I be giving you guys about because it's 9:40? I want to share out. If I give you another 10 minutes, we're gonna be close to the end of class. Let me stop this timer. But I need you to at least share out what you have, and I think you could do the coding on your own because I wanted to go through at least some of the parts that you need to change for the colors to not. I mean, I don't want you to change the image, but the colors will that pour in can be changed by the programming. So, and that's the trick I want you to see the magic behind the code. It does what you tell it to do, no matter however it looks. So,
Right.
Carson, are you able to share your screen for a moment?
Yeah.
Like, let's see how much you got done. Like, I just want to see how many images. Greer, you don't have to share because I just troubleshooted with you. But I need to see Robinson. Love just disappeared again, and I need to see your screens. And if you don't want to, I mean, okay, you do it. It's a demonstration point, so you gotta share your screen so I see how far. Oh wow, you choose the graph. Okay, pretty good. And that's your character, huh? Pretty cool. Okay. Yeah, oh, you figured out how to make him talk. Okay. Did you go to your previous code to figure that out? Or you just knew what to do.
No, I just
Okay. All right. So you got to have all parts of the code pretty much done. Don't go anywhere because I want to show the color mixing. Who's next? Robinson, can you share? You gotta stop sharing, Carson. Robinson, can you share your screen, Linaria? Let's see how far you've made it. Linaria, there. I see his camera, but do you know how to share your screen? Oh, she got it. Okay, I figured she know how to do it. All right. Okay, Lanier's keeping up. You can get rid of that first costume though, Lanier. You don't need that cat no more. You don't want the cat to pop up as one of your images. So the vials, there's two apiece. I think the cat is you, right? Or the other sprite? Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
turn on your mic. It's better if you turn on your microphone. Okay, so you know you understand you need all the costumes for each sprite and how to program it. You good, right?
Yeah.
Okay, make sure you do all parts of the code. I think that's it. Because I don't know if Lanier's got back from getting bags. Um, let me bring this down. So I'm gonna share my screen so you can see what I'm doing. And this is how we're gonna change the colors, right? So I gotta do this not fast, but at a nice pace because I do want to give you guys at least get you out of here at 5 minutes to 5 to 10 minutes early. We'll see if we can make it 10, but depends on how many people get confused on this step. You had a question? No? All right. So look, I'm looking at pretty much what happens, right? So if you go to each sprite's code, you notice that it's set for certain variables. So one, and I'm looking at the middle one, but I think it's the same for all sprites where they have these costume changes. If you see here at one, let me see if I can zoom in so y'all can see that better. At one, we have blue. That's the setting for it. But if we change it to two, right? And you got, and remember, this is the variable block. So you got to establish your variables first. If I click on variables, you see you got blue, red, and yellow. So don't forget, you got to go in there and make your variables before you get really far with that. The other thing is, it's already set to one. That's the default. So in order for it to work, you might want to program it the same, make sure it works, and then change your color values. So program everything, every sprite that you have identically to the code I gave you. Okay, and you should have these images in there plus a new character that is you. And I think Carson already got that started. So basically, what I was talking about is if I change this to 2 and then I start the code, let's see what happens with this sprite. Nothing, right? If I change it back to 1, what do I get? Right? So that's how you get completely no color. So I don't want you to start there, but where the color mixing comes is here. So if I change when it says when I receive and it's empty, now I'm on the pretty much the big beaker where you put all your liquids in. I'm on that sprite. If you click on that to follow me, you'll see everything is already set to 0, right? What happens if I change that a little bit when it receives? Now I'm on this section of code, the receiving part. And that's when you pour it in and that beaker takes on the liquid. Well, I can say this is 1, just manipulating values. This will be 2, and probably this will be 3. Okay. Now you got to play with this to get the color codes that you want to go in. So once I do that, I can start the program. It's empty. And then what happens when it receives this color? Okay, it's that color. What about this? That color. And that color, right? No problem. But I could change it again. I think all these are 0, right? And then let's see if it does it again. So I think the only one I changed was red, right? And orange. Now, this is one way to play with the values. Change these all to 0 because it was unaffected, right? But what happens when we change the values for it to be empty and to make a costume? So when clicked, this is starting the program off when clicked and say, hey, let's change this to 1. Start the program, and then we get green. Everybody see what I just did? So I'm showing you how to change your colors without changing the vials. Speak now, forever hold your peace. This is a very, very interesting technique. What did you say, Greer?
Can you redo it?
Yep, I knew it was coming. That's why I was leaving time for this. So look, see, love left. I gotta make her absent. She's not staying with the class. So all I was saying was you want to go to the when clicked button here or block of code for the container and just change the values to colors that you think you wanted to see. Now, these colors will affect what's in the vials. They'll look blue and whatnot, but they're actually, let me start over. So if I did yellow and I said, hey, make yellow 1, right? And I click on yellow, I get yellow, right? But look what it does when it receives something else. I do blue and it's green. Now, yes, I gotta start over so you see. You get green. Now it's blue vial, but it gives you green, but all it changes is yellow. So that's the only clue I'm gonna give you to change your colors for what pours into the container. I want you to try to figure that out. It's 9:48. Let's see here whose camera's going. Okay. She is not back. Okay. I'm not trying to be evil, but I gotta mark her absent. So I'm gonna give her about 5 more minutes. I turned in 5 assignments. Can you grade them? Question mark. I gotta grade them tonight because I'm teaching all day, but I can try. Ms. Robinson, did you watch the videos to do them? Because if you turn them in, if you didn't follow the video procedure, it might be right, it might be wrong. But I'll take a quick look. Anyone else want me to take a look at something they may have submitted, or because I'm waiting this 2 minutes before I let y'all go, or I'm waiting probably 5 more for Miss Love because she's gone again. Let me see, Lineria. I gotta open up my Edsby over here. I don't want that screen to be showing Robinson and I got a gray book. So give me one moment, Miss Robinson. I can take a quick scan and make sure they're there. No, not tonight. Not tonight. Just when you get a chance. Okay, no, it's cool. It's cool. I just, I got a lot going on too. I'm a parent, and I think you're a parent too. And I got, I got to do things when I remember to do them. Otherwise, life will take over. So I see you got a few assignments in here, Robinson, and you went back in time. Okay, you must didn't like that skull, huh, sweetie? Okay, yeah, I'll look at that. You got a lot of stuff in there. She did a whole lot. Okay, so look, we got it's 9:49. I want y'all to ask questions. Are any of the steps I explained confusing? Do you know what to do? Hello, Miss Vega. I see she just popped up. You got an announcement? No, okay, she's just
No
here.
announcement.
Oh, okay. Okay. So do you guys have any questions really? Because it's 9:50. We start class at 10:10. I want to get, I don't know if you guys have any breakfast? Did you eat? You awake? You got a few more classes to go. Did y'all do all those things? No, Carson's saying, shaking his head. Okay. So I'm gonna, Scout's honor. We're gonna see because again, I just want to repeat it, and I might just let you go in a minute, but I want to remind you of some things. There is a Facebook drawing. We have a link in I'm gonna say Esby. It looks like this. Let me show you real quick. And it was yesterday. I posted it because I got it from staff. All you have to do is go to the Facebook page we have on Facebook, like, comment, and mention which teacher shared this info with you, and you can possibly get $100. All right, so that's easy money. And then the other thing was the word of the day, because I want you to get your 25 points. Remember, the word of the day and the term of the day, if you put it in your description of your project page, will get you 25 extra points. So let me grab those for you. So today's word of the day is anomaly. Okay. Copy this and put it here. And today's term of the day is this. Now, you just don't put those terms in there. You got to find definitions. Okay. And where do you put that at, right? Well, if I go to your project page, I should see right here in the notes and credits those definitions. So the word definition and the other word definition. If I see that in there when you turn in your project completed, that's 25 extra points. So that can help out a lot of people. So if you're listening, please take advantage of that. I just put those in there. And what else? I did that. Oh, Townhouse. It's every day starting from here out. We was in Townhouse today. You should be expected there tomorrow. If I see you there, that is a grand opportunity to ask me about questions. Or not asking about questions, but find out about opportunities and a lot of the different events they have coming up. Mr. Rush, are you there? Do you want to speak on that real quick? Or you busy?
Yeah, I was doing something, but if you guys refer any friends or bring people on board to enroll, it's a lot of money to be made with that. So if you guys attend towns tomorrow, we'll have the slide and we can be able to tell y'all more tomorrow.
Robinson needs a link. I think I could find it for you. There is a link. It was in the SB, but give me 1 second, Lanaria. Uh, and everybody else, as soon as I get y'all this link, you're free to go for Townhouse tomorrow. Rush to top. The link is going to stay the same, right?
For the most part that I know, yes. But the thing is, it was a little technical issues going on with the link we had earlier. Like we didn't know you know we are trying to admit students, but we was having trouble. So I don't know if the link might switch, but for now you can still give them that link. We'll see. We're gonna try to fix it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I want to talk to you about that. There's some new features. So
Okay.
anyway, everybody take that link down. Be in Townhouse. Be in all your classes. We're coming up on midterms. All right. So I know everybody was not used to going to school and trying to get that sleep out of our system and that relaxation. But now we're back in session. So let's finish strong because this is our way of keeping you guys on track to graduate on time. All right. So take the link down. Make sure you have those terms and word of the day. And I'll see you guys later. It's 9:54. So good to go. I'll see you next period if I see you. If not, I'll see you tomorrow. 8 p.m. for this assignment though. All parts, all code have to be done. You are free to go, everybody. Go get you some breakfast. Get ready.
Where we put the words of the day again?
Oh, you okay? Great question. So you see here on my screen, it says notes
Yeah.
and credits, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna put it in this box here once you get done with your program.
Okay.
If I were you, I would share the program out, name it and everything the same way, and then before you forget, put it there. So all you gotta do is worry about code. It's done.
Okay.
Okay, all right.